understand if it's like a good or a bad different.
No, it's a shocking different.
Shocking can either be good or bad. Usually
Hi,
it's bad.
babes. I'll tell you in 30 minutes if it's good or bad. Good morning.
What
Good
do you
day.
mean?
What time is it? Good
30
day.
minutes. How is your week? How are you doing?
My week was great, man. I had the best Friday ever.
I'm listening. What did you do?
I went to work and went home.
Are you serious? The
What is
tablet's
that?
just giving us weather here.
Oh, aski sige.
So yes, you said that you had a great Friday.
Look, I just want to talk about your week because clearly when you went into an entire transformation, your outfit even looks different. You're just different. Is this
I don't
you?
understand. My outfit looks
How,
different.
Tariq, is this you?
Anyway, we have some good looking flesh with us in studio. How you doing?
I'm good.
Some good looking what?
Some good looking flesh.
Hey, wow.
Ooh.
It's been a while since I was described that way.
You know what is cool about him?
Yeah.
Your hair.
So is yours.
No, like yours takes the cake. Mine is going towards
Yeah, I
it.
feel like his hair, it changes a lot.
But I still want to
That hair
aspire
has
towards
been through the
yours.
most.
That
no.
color.
I think mine wants to grow to that color.
Oh, I see.
How you
Really?
doing though?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Good man.
I'm okay,
Lumko
man.
Johnson.
Lumko Johnson, there's a lot to say
Yo,
about Lumko. I don't know where
the
to
social
start.
media, like I was like stalking you. I was like, click
Oh.
on Instagram. So I was just thinking, right? So like I'm only on like a few followers.
Okay.
Can you like post? Can you like post me?
Of course.
Kanjani? He
what
might
are
tag
we-
you. He might tag you for follow.
What are you posting?
For followers, you know, just something. Just
Tag Nyana.
Yeah.
Just the
Yeah.
boost.
Yeah. How was your week? How is 2017 being so far?
Oh wow! It started off so busy.
Okay.
So busy. There's a lot of things that I'm doing that I had been procrastinating for a while.
Okay.
So the moment the clock hit 2017, it was like boom, let's go.
A lot of things like what? What have you been procrastinating?
So I'm a television person, so it's
Yeah.
been television properties I've been working on.
Yeah.
Very exciting stuff that hopefully.
You can't
You
reveal
can't talk
now.
about.
No, look, I'm not gonna pull that whole celeb thing. Oh, I can't talk about it. Blah blah blah. No.
Just check out.
Look, I think the bits I can say right now is I'm producing and starring in a drama series
Okay.
that I've written myself,
Ooh.
and I start shooting it in about 2 weeks.
I think I
Okay.
saw a picture on Instagram.
I did. And where's it
Written
airing?
director or something.
And a public broadcaster.
Wait,
Batum,
so you
batum,
did
batum.
everything yourself?
Yes.
So it's like a big, on full thing. What is it about? If you
So
can tell us.
it's loosely based on my life.
Okay.
Very loosely, because a lot of the things are exaggerated and they very fictitious. But it's based on the premise that when you reach the end of your 20s,
Yeah.
you start to assess all the achievements and your accomplishments in comparison to your friends. So you know the hashtag on social media, hashtag when God shows up.
Yes,
and that's
yes,
always
yes.
like the hashtag you
Yeah,
use
yeah.
when you get your new
Yeah,
car
blessings.
and your new job,
Yeah.
blessings. So that's what the series is based on. It's a comedic drama.
Okay.
And we mock and we tease and we play on the idea that sometimes those accomplishments aren't actually what you've accomplished at the age of 30.
Okay.
Those are just material things that are there to make you look like you're successful when in actual fact you should be working on yourself.
Yeah.
So the main character, which is the character I play, is a character who's very obsessed with looking like he's successful, looking like he's got the great job,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
great relationship, the great friends,
Yeah.
when in actual fact he's got a lot of issues he needs to deal with.
So
Sounds
why
like
did
fun.
you decide on,
Yeah.
on this series, if you should say?
I read an article about the quarter life crisis.
Okay.
So the article suggests that.
That's quarter life crisis.
So it says, so there's a midlife crisis where when you reach your 40s or your 50s, you start to look back at your life and you're like, yo,
Yeah.
I've done nothing.
You
Yeah.
I've
reflect.
achieved nothing. So this article suggests that even when you're 25, when you pass 25,
Yeah.
you look back at the things that you wanted to have achieved
Yeah.
at 21
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
at 25. And then when you get to like 28, 30, you're like, yo, guys, I've done nothing.
Yeah,
I've
Look
wasted
at my
my time.
friend
Yeah.
who's done this and look at this
Okay.
person who's done that.
And some people get depressed, like heavy.
Yeah, it's a huge cause of depression because
Yeah.
you start to feel like you've lived all this life
Yeah.
and you've done nothing. You've disappointed your parents, you've disappointed yourself,
Yeah.
and you're a failure.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna get to know you a little bit more. But
Yeah,
for
well.
people that do know who you know, or rather don't know who you are, Salas.
So you.
Pitch yourself. Pitch
Oh
yourself.
my goodness.
Give me
Okay.
yourself.
So I'm a 27-year-old actor,
Okay.
presenter, and producer. Studied at Wits, born and raised in East London and Johannesburg.
Mm-hmm.
And I love sunshines and beer.
Oh, sunshines and beer.
Yes.
And he's a PK.
Oh.
Yes, I
Oh.
Jeez, Levi.
Levi always does these things.
Because I feel like people must be honest.
I am.
But
I
he
am.
is. Why?
Proudly so, though.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
is like? So why did you have to bring it up?
Because like he's a cool PK.
Yeah. Well, I think PKs are generally cool people.
Mm.
There's a
Okay.
misconception about us, but I think we are really cool
So,
people.
so for example, like when they saw me at church with my hair, they were like, "Yo, Father God." So when they see a PK with like shaved sides,
Yeah, I was that child with the tattoos and the piercings.
But you see,
Like
with Lumko, I
in
mean,
youth.
his mom is cool as well.
yeah.
okay, your
Yeah,
mom's
so
that.
it's okay.
Yes.
All right.
We're not on the other hand, babes, we shall discuss yours after
We'll
the show.
discuss mine after the show. Anyway, so we're gonna go into a little bit, just a small nana break of
Yeah,
music.
yeah,
When we
yeah.
come back, we want to see if you're fun, if you have a fun side to
Ooh,
you.
pressure.
You look fun though.
I
He
am
is.
fun. I'd
Look-
like to think I am.
Okay, so we'll check that out. This is KofifiTV 97.2. It all began. Social media handle.
At Lumko Johnson, that's Twitter and Instagram.
We need to get to Johnson. I want to know, are you like colored or something?
He's white.
Right.
At
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. At @WaltRick_S.
I'm at Levi Siboko.
Yes,
That's
Kofifi
it.
972. Yes, we are back. KofifiTV 97.2, where it all began. We have the handsome guy still with us, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, can you explain, how are you, Mr. Johnson?
That's such a weird thing to explain because I mean, I feel like you inherit your surname.
Exactly. So I'm just like, are you colored? Like.
I'm black, baby girl. I'm as
So
black
where
as they come.
does Johnson come from?
I don't know. I was just given Johnson. I was born and I was named Lumko Johnson.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Why is this guy? Is he?
Because he's lying.
Oh, what's the truth? Tell us, Julius.
I don't know, Lumko. Tell us.
You're always this awkward, dude.
Is Johnson your mom's last name or your father's last
It's
name?
my father's last name.
Okay. Is your father black or white? Just asking,
He's
Jay.
South African.
I tried, babes.
I don't know why. Can you explain why are you like this? You just forever drawing people's files. Do you bring people on the show to bring out their files?
Yes.
Okay.
Third degree.
It's not okay. Anyway,
Yes.
so we have the fun section, right? So we're gonna ask you about 10 questions. You're not allowed to think.
Okay.
Just need an answer. Okay.
Awesome. Let's go.
First question: when was the last time you cried, whether good or bad, and why?
2 days ago, I was laughing. It's something that was really funny.
Okay.
Must I ask?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. What's your favorite cereal? Sorry. I thought you were going to go
Rice
on.
Krispies.
Okay. With hot milk, cold milk,
Cold milk.
sugar.
Brown sugar.
Do you untie your shoes when you take them off, and which one do you untie?
I don't tie my shoes at all.
Really?
I tuck in my shoelaces. I hate shoelaces.
So don't they like fall off?
No, I tuck them into the shoe.
Okay. And then which one do you take off first, left or right?
Left.
Okay.
You right-handed, hey?
Yes, I am.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay.
What is the least favorite thing about yourself?
I'm not very trusting, and I'm
Okay.
impatient.
And what people say they don't like about you?
Apparently, I'm stuck up.
Okay. Okay. What are your favorite smells?
Or sense?
Okay. Let's work with on people. Okay. Let's work with on you first.
On me.
Yeah.
When my hair's just been washed.
Okay.
Yes.
Men and women. Okay.
Ooh,
but
men.
is more appropriate. Men is
Cologne.
Really
Good
loves-
cologne.
Yeah.
Good cologne.
What cologne?
What cologne? Which cologne?
I don't know the particular brands, but you know the fresh. I don't like the musky colognes.
Yeah.
Not the hard ones. The fresh ones that smell like he's just taking a shower.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
And on women?
On women, yeah.
On women, I like really sweet fragrances.
No.
Oh.
I can't do sweet. I can't do sweet. And then in places.
In places, I like the smell of freshly cut grass
Okay. Ooh.
and the wet ground after rain.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes.
that's a
That
beautiful-
smells really
I
nice.
love the smell of petrol as well.
Me too. It smells really cool.
Smells really nice.
Who was the last person you called or SMS'd?
America, I called an hour ago.
I know America.
Everyone knows America.
What is the first thing you notice when you see people?
Their teeth.
Okay.
Yes.
Like if it's clean or like squid, like.
But now,
No, because I'm terrible at making eye contact because I'm a very shy person. Surprise,
Okay.
surprise. So I look for other places to put my attention to. So it's usually the teeth or the hair.
Okay.
what if their mouth is closed?
But then they're not
Are they
talking
talking
most
to
if
you
their mouth
most?
is closed.
Hi.
Okay, so hold on. So if you walk into a room
Yes.
and you see a group of people standing with a friend of yours or friends of yours,
Yes, I will go to the friend and I will avoid eye contact until the person speaks to me.
what?
I promise.
You have to see teeth.
Teeth, or so I need to see something. If they're wearing a very interesting shirt, I'll pay attention to the shirt when I'm speaking to them. I won't. If I don't know the person,
Are
it's
you like
difficult
an awkward shy? Like,
Very
it's like they,
weird.
hey, how are you? And then you just laugh.
I
How are you?
stutter and I shake and I sweat. My hands sweat.
Are you
It's-
serious?
It's
Well,
very
I
bizarre.
stutter too a lot.
But I'm an awkward shy. I'm a very awkward shy. Have you not picked it up?
Let's move on, my friend.
Okay. Am I not shy?
If you could redo an event in your life, what would it be?
Oh, my 21st birthday party.
Why was it bad or good?
Look, the sentiment was
budget.
sweet. It was a surprise birthday party. And I feel like for an event as big as the 21st or the 18th or the 30th, you don't surprise someone because they want to choose who they want there.
Yes.
There were just these people that my mother had invited. Half of them were from the church, the others were from school, and the ones from school I wasn't even talking to them anymore because I was in first year, so I've got new friends. So
Jesus Christ.
and I was
It was
just like,
awkward.
it was very awkward. It ended very quickly. It was on for like 3 hours, and then my real friends and I went to Marvel.
So
Wow.
didn't they feel awkward as well?
No, look, I'm an actor, so I put on a face. And
The truth comes out.
It's coming slowly. Maybe he's acting now also.
So
It
now
was
you
nice.
know, if
It
you
was-
were at Lumko Johnson's 21st, you must
You
know.
were- he was acting.
You must
Look,
know.
it was nice to see some of them. So some of them, it was really genuine. For some, I wanted to make them feel welcomed, and I was being polite.
Whatever.
Wow, next question.
Okay, next question. If you could create a drink, what would that drink be? So, plastic or glass?
Plastic.
See-through or not?
Ooh, metallic.
Okay.
Oh.
Flavor.
Lemon and lime.
Okay, color.
Green.
Do you want it to taste as well?
Yes, it must
Like
taste like
lemon.
lime.
So only
Is this,
lime, not lemon.
Is this
Lime.
alcohol or non-alcohol?
Well, it's for me, right? Or is it for someone
Yeah.
else?
For
yeah,
you.
so it's your product.
It's
It's-
Lumko Johnson's
It's
drink.
got personality.
What is
It's alcohol.
And it's gonna give you personality.
It's alcohol.
that was a good one. Were you drinking? No.
No.
That was just
I was just recharging my personality.
personality. Exactly, that's a good one.
Wow. What
That
would
is
you
a
call
good
your
one.
drink? Name your drink.
The lemon lime Johnson.
Okay, are you ready to sing a liner for it?
A liner.
A jingle,
like a
yes.
jingle.
A jingle. Wow. The lemon liner by the Johnson. For personality!
Whack.
Wackest jingle ever.
Like you could have tried at least.
Oh,
It was on
Lord.
the spot. You need to actors prepare.
Okay, so that
Oh.
was preparation.
That was very unprepared.
preparation.
Next
Sorry.
question. If you could rename yourself, what would you call yourself?
I wouldn't rename myself. I think by name I'm very fortunate to have the name. My name means wisdom.
Oh.
So, and I feel like in life you work towards acquiring that, the
Yeah.
wisdom through experiences and stuff. So I wouldn't rename
You
myself.
rename
Okay, but
it.
if you had to rename yourself,
Maybe Tepo. I like the name Tepo.
really?
What does
Yeah.
Tepo mean?
Trust. Hope.
But you just said you don't trust people.
No, it's trust.
I don't trust people, but I would like to live up to the name.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So people must trust you.
I'd
Yes.
like to rectify Tepo's trust. Solofelo's hope. Moving
Yeah,
on.
I did say trust, and then I said
You
trust.
said hope. You said trust. and
Okay,
hope,
let's
but
move on. You
anyway.
guys going at
Yes.
it. Anyway,
Ow.
if aliens had to land on Earth,
yes.
why would you be the first person they would come to?
Jeez, I don't think I'd be the first person that come to because I would hide. But if they find me, or
Yeah.
if they deliberately look for me, it'll probably be because of my hair,
Okay.
or my voice, or they
Okay.
heard me laugh somewhere.
I haven't heard your laugh yet.
I feel like he's been laughing.
You're gonna hear it.
Okay, this is a decent laugh. This is that TV laugh.
No, there's my ratchet laugh.
That's what I want. That's the laugh I want. If you had to describe yourself in 3 words, what would it be?
Hard
no,
work.
no thinking. No thinking.
Okay, hardworking, creative, spontaneous.
Cool. Link us to the ad break.
All right. You're still tuned to KofifiTV, Lumka Johnson hanging out, of course, with 2 awesome people. In fact, there's so many of us in studio. And I feel like you guys are in studio as well, so don't go anywhere.
I'm looking for my Johnny. Where is my Johnny? Johnny Mo. Do you know Johnny? Question. If I know see my Johnny,
Do you know Johnny? Question. Do you know the song, Frank?
I do. I was actually introduced to the song by Jessica Nkosi. She really loves it.
It's a nice song, yeah?
It's a dope song.
Do you know Johnny? Do you know the song now?
First time I'm hearing
Johnny,
it. I even thought it was Mafiki Zolo until I was corrected off air. Because this is their sound now. This is like the...
You kill me. You kill me. Anyway, getting to know who you are, like we said, right now is the point where we don't care about who Mr. Johnson is.
Yeah.
We want to know everything about your craft.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's start from
The
point A.
beginning.
How did you get into the
Your break.
arts?
It's a very long story, but I'll cut it very short.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went to a primary school that encouraged us to participate in extramural activities.
Okay.
And I didn't like what was offered. Also, I was one of those kids that didn't like sports. I didn't like sweating. Not much of a team player. So the school also offered choir and drama. So
Yeah.
that's what I participated in from grade 2 up until whenever.
Yeah.
And through that, I got into musical theatre. In East London, there's a guild theatre. So they ran auditions and they were running a musical, and that was my first professional job.
Okay. How old are you?
I must have been like 9.
What?
Yeah. And then from that day onwards, I fell in love with the arts because also it gave me a form of escapism. At the time, my mother was married to an abusive person, so it was a way to be away from home where I'm not dealing with the drama of my stepfather beating my mother every single time.
Okay.
So I was able to spend maximum time at school, and on weekends I'm rehearsing or I'm performing, so I'm not in the household where I'm dealing with that drama as a child.
Yeah.
And then I finished high school and I got into Wits Drama School, and I graduated, and now I'm here like years later.
Yeah. When did you graduate?
2012.
Okay.
But I couldn't make my graduation because I was on set.
Hold on.
No,
So-
but it's still fine.
You didn't go.
You were
I
getting
didn't
to up.
go.
Oh.
I didn't go.
While the others are
man.
still looking for jobs, you were doing what you were studying.
I couldn't go.
So,
So I don't have like the picture of the robe and
Yeah.
the hat,
Yeah.
and I just have the certificate.
But dramatic arts, I mean, studying it, a lot of people, especially parents, are just like, oh, it's a cool extramural activity. So what are you actually studying? How were your parents like welcoming into doing dramatic arts as a degree?
It wasn't easy. My mother's a trained accountant.
Okay.
So she's a very logical thinker and she's a numbers person. She doesn't understand this thing where you pull a face, you cry, you laugh, and you get paid for it. Like,
Yeah.
how is that a job?
Yeah.
How this thing you did in school, after school, now you want to do for the rest of your life as a career, as
Exactly.
something that you want to make
Yeah.
money out of. How does that make sense? And I spent a year where I attempted a degree in economics, which I flunked badly. I hated the classes. I didn't like the lectures. I was that kid on campus who would dress up to sit in the canteen because I just didn't want to sit in the lecture halls and the classes. And then when I dropped out, I got the opportunity to star in The Lion King, and I got to travel.
Okay.
And when I came back with money from a different currency, my parents saw that, oh, actually, you can make a living from this. Because here I am now contributing towards the household expenses. Here I am paying half of your bond and half of your car from the money I made in Singapore or in China or in New York from this
Yeah.
thing that you just called a hobby.
Oh, that's great, man.
Oh crap, man.
And are any of your family members in the arts?
Not that I know of, but I do have a cousin now who's a very popular DJ in the Eastern Cape. I found out like in December.
Okay.
So
you
I'm-
look so happy.
I am happy because it was
happy.
so left field for me to sort of imagine her in that space. And when I
Yeah.
saw her, I was like, oh, she's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for her.
But I mean, East London, it's not like Joburg, like
No,
or
no,
Cape
no.
Town, TV.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you were there, they were probably just like, what is this
It's a very
thing?
small town and everybody knows each other and every family knows each other. And
Yeah.
my family is known in East London because my grandmother's got a very big hair salon in the main shopping center.
Okay.
So everybody does their hair there for weddings, for graduations, for
The main
21st.
shopping center, there's only one main shopping
Well,
center.
there's two. There's Vincent Park and there's Hemingway's. But
Okay.
Vincent Park, if you were to contextualize it for Joburg, there's Rosebank and Sandton. So Hemingway's would be your very upper upper class,
Okay.
old money. That would be Hemingway's, although it's a very new shopping center.
Okay.
And then Vincent Park it's new money. It's where
Where they show off.
yeah, you
Yeah,
show
Okay.
you know,
so
flashy.
flashy. So she's got a shopping center in the flashy district. Of,
Okay.
So everybody knows her, and everybody subsequently knows her grandchildren and her children. So there isn't a very active arts industry there. I mean,
Yeah.
there's one community radio station, and there's a big theater, but not many shows go there, and not many concerts go there. So anyone who wants to make it in the entertainment industry leaves East London to come to Johannesburg, such as Zahara or Oros Mambofu. So there's
There's
a lot.
quite a few,
There's
actually.
quite a few who come from East London and
A lot,
who've-
not a few.
who've come to
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
in Johannesburg.
So I take it The Lion King was like your first big platform, right? As a acting professional.
I feel like you were
Yes.
9 is also big.
I mean, it was big, but like The Lion King is known
Look,
Yeah.
The Lion King is a
globally.
big deal.
It
It's
is
Yeah.
a big deal. So what happened after that?
Nothing. I came back and I spent 3 months, waited for the year to finish because I
Yeah.
came back in August. No, around October.
Okay.
And I waited for the year to finish and I applied for VITS and I got accepted at VITS. So I dropped out of my economics degree in July,
Yeah.
and then I went and performed in The Lion King. And when the show ended, I applied at VITS, and the following year I started school at VITS University.
So at The Lion King, does that mean you have to sing and
You
dance?
sing, dance, and act. So it's a huge production musical.
Yeah.
I was part of the ensemble. So the ensemble are the people who sing the oohs and ahs in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they also double as a backup dancers. And if an actor
Oh.
falls ill,
So you
or breaks-
danced the
Yes.
entire you. I'm
There was
asking.
Starting
choreography.
again.
No, I'm
You guys
asking. I've never
No.
seen. I've
No.
never seen
I'm the
Luca
nice one, yeah.
dance.
You
I'm
are the nice one here.
Yeah, because you go to church.
There was choreography. There was a choreographer. So there was a voice coach.
Yeah.
And an acting coach. So
So why did you try The Lion King? Was it something that you just saw and you're like, let me just try it out? Or did you always want to do something like The Lion King?
I came from a musical theater background.
Okay.
So I'd done Alice in Wonderland and I'd done The Lady Who Lives in a Shoe.
Yeah.
So when I heard about the Lion King auditions, I was like, well, I mean, let's go. And at the time, I wasn't doing anything with my life.
Yeah.
I just dropped out of varsity. So for me, it was just a matter of as long as I've got something to do till the end of the year,
Yeah.
and I'll figure it out next year.
Okay.
And then I got lucky.
So, Wits,
Wow.
drama
Yes.
department.
Yes.
Because I'm a Wits music student.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, moving on from there. The drama department, what do you like about actually studying the arts rather than tertiary? Because you know some people do it maybe in high school and then
Yeah.
tertiary is not exactly like high school.
Yeah.
What was the change from studying it, from primary school to high school and now tertiary?
So the reason why I preferred to go and do a degree in economics because I thought I'd been acting in primary school, so I don't see the need to go now and study
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
But when you work with professionals on a production as big as The Lion King and professionals who studied, who went to TUT and did musical theater and
Yeah.
who've got like worlds of experience and academics, you realize the importance of an academic qualification in the arts. Because it's one thing to be able to sing and to hit the amazing notes, but if you understand how music works and how harmonies work and even in drama, just different performance styles and the theories and all those things, it gives you an extra edge as an actor on set because now you're not just a person who's cramming lines. You've got technique to do it, and sometimes you get on set and the scenes have changed. You get a scene right now. You've got 10 minutes to learn it, and you have to perform it, and you must go to that emotion. Or sometimes you're shooting a scene where you're crying or you're laughing the whole day, and then you're crying and then you're laughing again, and it's difficult to snap out of that.
Yes.
But if you're trained, it's a lot easier to tap into that and to tap out of it because it's a technique. It's a skill. It's a muscle that you exercise. And I learned that at VITS. And I always say that VITS, or the VITS School of Arts, was the time of my life because the beauty about working in the arts
Yeah.
and studying towards a career in the arts is the people you end up working with, the people you hire and who hire you are the people you met in first year.
Exactly, yeah.
The people you sat in those lecture halls with. So the context I have now, the people you sit with someone in a lecture hall and then years later you're on set to them and it's like, oh wow, do you actually remember? And sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. I'll give a very simple example. In my second year, there's a course you take called drama and film, which is the main theory part of the degree.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in my drama and film class, Dumi Marake was there and she was repeating the class. And she was much older and no one knew who she was. She was,
Yeah.
she was just the oldest girl in the class.
Yeah.
And now years later, we see what an amazing comedian she is and an actress, and she's a big deal. And there's a lot of those people where you you only remember them from, oh my word, I went to varsity with this person. Look how amazing they're doing right now. And that's the beauty of going into an institution that trains you towards the arts. Whether it's dance, it's music, or whatever, you meet those people and you end up working with them.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic, man. So, first year vets.
Yes.
When did you land your first TV gig?
I
Was it during school?
It was during school, and
Yeah,
I
of
almost had
course.
to drop out. I landed in Kaba, which was South Africa's very first telenovela in third year. It was April.
Okay.
So I had just actually, I'm lying. I started working on YoTV before working on Inkaba, but I was a roving reporter for YoTV, so I'd be called to shoot or to cover events and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it would be very rare.
What's a roving reporter? Like a field
report,
Yeah.
field
Oh,
presenter.
okay,
so
okay.
So you do ENGs and
ENGs, and it wasn't a big
Okay.
deal for me, and the money wasn't
you
amazing.
two and this TV talk. ENG.
Wait, when was this? When was this?
So this was end of 2012,
Okay.
and then
So that was when you graduated, right?
no,
he
I
was
graduated in
still in school.
2013.
13. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's my final year, and I get a call from my agent, and she's like, "Listen, there's a big drama series that's coming up, and they're looking for an actor and whatever. Here's the brief. Read for it, and then go and audition." It was a Thursday morning, so I went to and I auditioned. And just by the way, I do, because it was quite significant.
Yeah.
And I'll get to why. So I audition and I get over it, and I do that. I audition for something and I move on. I don't think about it. I forget about it, because you'll catch feelings and then you don't get the role,
Yeah.
and it's sore. So I get a call on Friday evening. I'm in Newtown. I'm drinking with my
Your
Living your
personality.
Yeah.
I'm
Recharging your personality.
I'm recharging my personality. And it's one of the producers. She's like, "Listen, how quickly can you get to Randburg?" I'm like, "At 7:20.
Yeah.
She's like, "Yes, we need you here in at least the next 15 minutes, because you've gotten a call back, but we need to seal it today, because if you get the role, you start on Monday."
What?
So I'm just like, "Oh my word, I've had like 3 Long Islands.
Oh my
and I
god.
smell like liquor." And
Yeah.
so I
Potent.
got into a taxi and I got there, and I auditioned on a smartphone, because they hadn't set up cameras or whatever. It was in someone's office. They recorded my call back on a smartphone. And on Sunday night, I got a call, and they're like, "Listen, we're emailing you your script. Don't worry about contracts and fees and rates right now. Just be on set at 7:30 tomorrow morning." I called my agent. I'm like, "I don't know what's going on. I don't know if these people are ripping me off. I don't know if this is fly by night."
Yeah. Exactly.
She's like, "Let me call and find out." And she called an hour later. She's like, "I'll sort out your TV. Just go there and be ready." Now, the reason why I remember the story so vividly is because, first of all, I got fired from your TV because it's a different channel.
Yeah.
Of course.
And secondly, it turned out that the role was a recast. They had cast another actor that the channel later decided that was no longer suitable for the role after shooting a couple of episodes with him.
Okay.
So my first day, I was filling the shoes of someone I have great respect for, first of all. And secondly, I was wearing that actor's wardrobe, and we're not the same size. So Showmax started re-airing the show, and I'm looking at my wardrobe. I'm just like, it's such a mess. The shirts are loose fitting.
Yeah.
The pants are loose. I look like I'd lost weight, and now I'm wearing the clothes I used to own. So I was on the show for 10 months.
Yeah.
And I couldn't attend any of my classes. And I'd made the decision that I've dropped out before. I'm just going to do it again.
Yeah.
If I'm supposed to be in school, God will put it in my life again.
Yeah.
Whatever. And my head of school called me, and he was like, "Listen, we know what's happening. We've heard, and congratulations. And I understand you're no longer coming on campus. You need to submit the assignments, and you need to perform in the exam. Forget the lecture stuff. Forget the...
Yeah.
Just perform in the exam, and on the basis that you're already doing professional work, surely the university should be able to credit you on
Yes.
Oh wow.
that." And then that's how I managed to scrape through graduation.
Wow.
To get through it. But
Yeah.
for me, what I think sometimes is when you're studying something and you're going into the field already, sometimes you're just like, what's the use of studying it if I'm already getting money
That's exactly
for
how
the
I
thing
feel,
that I'm
yeah.
studying?
Yeah.
So how was it, would you encourage other people to do what you're doing right now, where you studied and you still did what you're studying as a craft?
Look, I think you're committing to the discipline once you enroll and
Yeah.
once you start attending classes and committing to the curriculum.
Yeah.
When you get your big break and it's during while you're studying and you're struggling to juggle them, don't stress yourself, because you've put in your work and you've given the universe your energy. You've said, I want to do this and I want to commit to it and I want to know how to do it well. So I've enrolled to study towards this. And then the universe or fate or whatever you're going to call it rewards you with a big role or a big opportunity. I'm not going to say like sit through your degree when Hollywood is calling. That's not really fair. And what are the chances that they're going to call again?
Exactly.
When school is always there. There's school in Hollywood. So when you get that big break, always, whatever opportunity you get, take it. Doesn't matter how small it looks. It might look like a seed now, tomorrow it could be a forest. So just take it.
Wise words, man. Wise
Exactly. It might be a seed and tomorrow will be a forest.
words. My friend, I feel like let's take a break.
That's what I just wanted to say. This is Kofifi FM 97.2. It all began. We've learned so much in the space of like 10 minutes.
Yep.
So clearly you are wisdom.
Ooh.
And we still have a lot more to take from you, right? This is Kofifi FM 97.2. It all began.
spin. Don't ever play yourself. One time for Future the Prince. One time for 40. One time for Drake. Yeah, another one. Bless up.
Oh, wait. You straight.
What's up? This your girl Ricky from Innertainment, the show that obviously matters. Welcome into your space every Saturday from 12 to 2 p.m. where we speak about the entertainment industry, what we like about it, what we don't like about it, and the most important thing is having celebrities do it. Asambeni, let's get it. Go Ricky. Entertainment, key from.
Kofifi FM and KofifiTV presents the Kofifi Love Affair. 10 to 12 February at the Roodepoort Theatre. Come and celebrate young love at the Roodepoort Theatre. Get to meet Taslan Prinsloo, Whitney Bradar, Daniel Issel, Tremaine Abdul, and Walter Rick Sandowns. For a romantic old school experience, join me, Reggie Philander, Joe For Real, and many more.
End of your romantic weekend with a live music show as well as the grand finale of the karaoke competition. Be there to see who drives away with a brand new car. For only 100 Rand, get your tickets at Kofifi FM, situated at number 450 on Deckers Road. Special arrangements can also be made for a romantic dinner at Stages Restaurant at the theatre. For more information or to book your tickets, please contact 011-472-9233 or Anthea on 074-080-4429. This 3-day love affair is brought to you by Kofifi FM, KofifiTV, and the Roodepoort Theatre.
Hello, stranger.
New Clare Primary School is celebrating 100 years this year. The official launch will take place on the 11th of February at the school, starting at 8:30 a.m. The official plaque will be unveiled on the day by the Mayor of Johannesburg. This will be preceded by a parade by our drummies, accompanied by a brass band through the streets of New Clare. Please join us in commemorating this very special milestone for the area. Fifth Connection will provide entertainment for the day.
Remember, Kofifi Landers, all Kofifi FM's advertising is done strictly through Plugged In, which is an official and legal advertising agency. Should anyone else offer advertising on Kofifi FM that has not been authorized through Plugged In, kindly reject the offer to avoid fraudulent encounters. Please direct any advertising queries to 011-472-9233.
Welcome back to Kofifi FM 97.2. We are still chilling with Lumko Johnson.
Are you good still?
I'm still very good.
Oh, what? That's English, eh? Which one is right? Are you good still? Are you still very good?
Are you still good?
Are you still good?
Are you still good?
And you just let me speak.
Do you, boo?
You just allow me to speak broken English.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I want to dig deeper now. So I know people know that you are an actor,
Yeah.
and a presenter, and a producer. But I kind of do know that you like, when you get a gig, you like being behind the scenes as well.
Yes.
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 And which gigs have you done that on?
Where I've been behind the scenes
And in front.
and in front.
Yeah.
Well,
So far.
the most obvious one is Yo TV.
Yeah.
And then followed the Chevrolet Feather Awards,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
which I did for 3 years. And then the one I'm
And you're doing now.
doing now.
Yeah.
But now,
Yeah.
what are the challenges for a producer who's also a presenter of a show?
When you're one of those people who wear a very honest face. So an honest face is if we're chatting and someone farts, your face reacts before you even realize what. So I'm that kind of person. I really can't hide my facial expressions.
Yeah.
So when you're on earpiece as a presenter and you know there's a huge stuff up, a production staff up in the control room.
You kind of know in your head what's going on.
Yes, and it shows in your face. So that was a challenge I would face regularly. Also, you constantly have to be aware. Obviously, presenters have to be aware of the space that they're sitting in. So the cameras, your voice, your guest, etc. But when it's on a production level as well, you're aware of all those elements as well as production elements. So are there enough scripts? Does the director know what they're doing? Have you briefed everyone?
Yeah.
Is that the correct shot? You're trusting everyone. You're performing every link while your peripheral, you're staring at the monitor to make sure that's actually the shot you asked for. And then, so you're constantly making sure that this is exactly what I wanted. And it's difficult to do it when you're performing it and you're not sitting watching someone else do it.
Exactly.
cool.
But as a presenter, because I mean, presenting and acting is two different things. And this is a conversation we always have.
Yeah.
That can a presenter be an actor and can an actor be a presenter?
Okay. So I think actors are born.
Okay.
I think you're born an actor. I think sometimes you meet those people that are just so funny and so animated and they can, and they're very sensitive as well, sensitive to mood and to tone and to people's reactions and nuances and people's mannerisms. I feel like those people are inclined to become actors.
Okay.
A presenter, I think if you really have a great personality, you can mold someone into being a presenter, and I'll qualify that. I believe in a presenter voice, right?
Okay.
So you and I are talking. That's our natural voice.
Yeah.
But the moment I go into a link, my voice will change.
Exactly.
For example,
It goes louder.
it will go. There's also like a pitch thing that you do and intonation and things that you do. I'll give you an example. So give me something to read.
Okay.
Anything.
The back of
the
the
back of the paper.
Wow.
So in my natural voice, I would read this like, only the best quality potatoes find their way into a packet of Lay's. This is what makes our potato chips absolutely delicious. Naturally, eventually when you get into presenting, you discover, you unlock your presenter voice.
Okay.
The moment you know you're presenting or you're delivering a link or you're doing a voiceover, instantly your mind goes into it. So in comparison to how I read it before, if you unlock your presenter voice, it'll probably sound something like this. Only the best quality potatoes find their way into a packet of Lay's. This is what makes our potatoes absolutely delicious. So in the tone and the intonation, you find your breaks, you find your pauses.
Okay.
And I feel like you can teach people that, or you learn it through experience. It's different from acting. If you don't have it, my girl, you don't have it. And sometimes there's presenters who are so self-conscious of themselves, they are not willing to open up themselves and realize
Break
that
free.
And I should have done this better. Sometimes you record something and then you listen to it and you're fine with it when you actually shouldn't. You should always be striving to be better.
Exactly. So question is, do you think that, for example, an actor can come off set and suddenly be a presenter?
Is it easy to transition from being an actor to a presenter or presenter to an actor?
I think it's very easy to transition from actor to presenter.
I agree.
Because it's so biased. I think it should be easier for you to be able to, if you're a trained actor, you know what intonation is.
Yeah.
You know where your beats are. You know how to access those things, and you know to find them in a text.
Yeah.
So when you're given a script, you know when to tap into your own personality. Sometimes an interview is so boring and you feel like this guest is not giving me anything. You suddenly do things that entertain the guests and that pull them out of their comfort zone.
Okay, because for me, I've always seen it as an actor is always playing a role of something else. So, for example, we have Jamie Bartlett doing David Jenner.
Yeah.
So I mean, as he comes on as we interviewing him. For us, it's just like, is he still Jamie, or like who is he? Because now we have seen him as this thing on Rhythm City.
Yeah.
And now when he comes, it's like, are you the person on Rhythm City, or is this your personality?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, how do you change from, okay, I'm on Isibaya now, and now I'm like, hey, I'm all too. You know what I mean?
I get
It's
what
just
you
like,
mean. Yeah.
Like, how do you, it must be harder, because as a presenter, for example, if you look at like Ntando, we know Ntando as a presenter, and now she went into acting. So when she is a presenter, we're like, oh, but we know you as a presenter. But as an actor, it's like, but I don't know your personality, I know your character.
I feel like that should be the challenge though for any artist, where the viewer must be able to differentiate between, oh, that's Lumko or that's a character.
Okay.
Where if I'm reading an auto cue, you can tell that's Lumko. But if I'm in a scene and I'm performing under a different name and a different identity,
Yeah.
there should be that difference. Otherwise, then you're not acting.
Yeah. But speaking about auto cue, not
Yes.
everyone's good at auto cue.
I'm bad at auto cue.
We know this. Where it
A
just
lot of
goes
people are bad, eh? A lot of people.
horrible. Where you can see people are reading auto cue. Their head.
It's hard, guys, because we read looking at the page, and it's
Yeah.
still, the words are still on
Auto
auto
cue
cue. They are
moves.
moving.
For me,
Yeah,
I
this
find
is
it
what
much easier on auto cue.
I was told by a presenter before on Vuzu
Yeah.
that they like reading the script while they're getting
Yeah.
the makeup
You have
done.
to.
So they don't focus too much on the auto cue because it's a bit distracting
It is.
to the lens.
But for me, I feel like auto cue is better when you have an operator that's
Yeah.
good. But I remember the one time when we were doing a live show and we had a different operator, and the operator doesn't understand the way you speak, and we didn't go through script completely because we were dependent on auto
oh,
cue.
flip.
So, for example, we were reading and we were just like, okay, so ingredients are, and the auto cue just didn't move,
Oh wow.
and then the auto cue just went, and you know when you just.
Yeah.
And then it gets awkward. So for acting, I mean, for presenting, you have something there.
Yeah.
If you're falling, you have something to pick you up. But
Yeah.
as an actor, you need to know what you're saying because your last word is the cue for someone else.
It is.
Isn't that so much harder?
It is, and it's a lot of pressure. And sometimes you get very, very generous actors who don't stick to the script. So, because sometimes when you translate the script into a vernacular language
Yeah.
from the English, it's not how you had learned it as an actor playing against the
Yes.
other person. So your cue then becomes different. So rehearsal is very important, and that rehearsal space is very precious because I need to know what you're going to be doing in the take. And maybe you get taken by impulse and you do something different. You need to know what my response possibly is. And that's the beauty about chemistry between two actors who work together very closely, because then I can sort of preempt how you're going to perform this scene when I'm rehearsing it by myself. And
Okay.
even if you're late for the rehearsal, or you don't make the rehearsal, or we can't run lines before our scene, I know that, oh, okay, when Leroy says this line, he's going to chuckle. And then I must wait 2 beats for that chuckle before I can give my next dialogue. Whereas if we're working together for the first time and I can't read you, and now I will be cutting you and I'm
Exactly.
interjecting in the wrong places, and it's going to be weird, and on screen it's going to look very awkward and
Yeah.
very rigid.
Oh, wow.
How do you learn scripts though? Because I know some people get like 5
I was about to
scenes.
ask.
Yeah.
How do you learn scripts?
Would I be wrong in saying? I'm sorry. I just
it's
want to ask because it's in
Yeah.
line with that. Would I be wrong in saying you have to have a trained memory to read scripts and to hold a script in your mind?
I don't think so.
I know people with terrible
think so?
memory, but
Yes.
they're able to learn the lines. And I think everyone's got their own different process.
Yeah.
For me, I read the script and then I put it away and I do something else. And then I read it to learn it. So I read to know the actual wording. And I will read it and I will say it out loud. And I will do that 2 or 3 times and then leave it. And then I must be away from it for a long time. I will take a nap or I'll go run an errand or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when I come back lastly, so this is like the 3rd time I'm seeing the script. Now so this is like my secret tip now. I'm giving it away. I read the script and I record the other actors' lines on voice note on the cell phone.
Okay.
So I record their lines only, not mine. But I record it with the beats where I would have come in with my own dialogue. So that when I'm now rehearsing the scene and I'm preparing and I'm performing my lines, there's a voice coming back to me so that I know when to hoy back. Because sometimes your hoy back is not even in the script, but it fits that moment because you had that energy, you got that vibe from the person you're performing
Okay.
with.
See.
So how do you do like 5 scripts? Because I mean, if you get a script today, you need to do it on
Yeah.
Wednesday, and you have so many things. You don't have all that time to do
It's very
that.
difficult.
Is it all about cramming, or is it I have an understanding of what the script is about? I'll go on set and do what I thought it would be.
Yeah, because I thought people cram.
That's what I think.
Look, some people cram because sometimes you have 12 scenes in that day, or there's 16 scenes and you're in all of them. So you've got 16 scenes to learn and you only
Exactly.
have 12 hours to learn them. So sometimes it really is cramming. And sometimes you sort of understand what your character's about. So you know what that scene's about, and you get directors who are very fluid and are very flexible, who are like, look, this is what the scene's about. Here are your marks. Stand here, those are your cameras. You square up at this particular point. So you know what the scene's about, and you know you got like a gist of the dialogue. It's not verbatim, it's not word for word, but you're still able to perform it to the satisfaction of the producers or of the actual director.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get directors who want word for word because they've blocked the scene for edit, so that I will cut at this particular word.
What does block mean?
So when you're blocking a scene, they're telling you where to stand, where your light is, so you're not standing in the dark, where your camera is, so that you're actually on camera, they're capturing the action, where you're standing in connection to the other bodies in the scene, so that you're not masking other actors.
And masking is?
Masking is to cover, so you're not covering another actor's face. Your hand movements are not going to suddenly
this is
cast
so
a shadow
calculated.
on someone else's face. So it's very calculated, and you can mess it up very often, but with time and experience, you
because I'm
learn.
thinking,
get
imagine
used to
your lines are here,
Yeah.
then you need to work through there.
Yeah.
Speaking about characters,
Yeah.
I mean, you play one character and you change to another character. Have you ever been given a character that has been so challenging because you haven't figured it out yourself, or your methods haven't worked, and how have you been able to overcome that?
Yeah, I played a character on a drama series on SABC1 called Gowetu. And this was from the audition brief, it just said he's a very flamboyant hairstylist in a rural Eastern Cape village.
Okay.
That's all.
Full stop.
Full stop. So, in terms of preparation, that's like a very thin brief to give an
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, how old is he? What is he
Exactly.
into? His emotions, his motivation, his objective, none of those things. I don't know any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So, you either have the option to create those things before or during while you're shooting.
Okay.
But also, it's nice to have conversations with the writers, and the writers were on set every day. So, you can say, you sit them down, you're like, okay, so how would he react in a situation like this? My only difficulty was the drama series was 100% Xhosa, and he's never been to Joburg. He didn't go to a school where he could have learned fluent English. So I had to perform all my scenes in Xhosa, and I had to translate them myself because there were no translations. So in between learning the lines, because language in our country is a very sensitive thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My Xhosa is very Joburg Xhosa.
Yeah.
It's very different from the Xhosa they speak in East London, in PE, in Umtata,
Yeah.
in Matadiele, you know.
Yeah.
So to try to avoid offending people, you try to speak the most generic, but also the most decent, you know.
Yeah.
And that's in preparation for that. I went into it not like very insecure about the language and insecure about my performance in terms of the language, because I mean, they always say, you know, actors are people who react to a situation.
Yeah.
You're not actually acting, you're reacting. Something happened to you
Yeah.
and then you react.
Yeah.
But my natural impulse reaction is always in English. I'm always gonna like respond in
Yeah.
English. So now
Respond in something else.
in something else, it's just something.
An exosa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from, I mean, the other people that you studied in school, like Stanislavski, Grotowski, do you use these people still because now you're like a professional and whatever, do you still use their methods and whatever in what you do?
Some, and then some I find really redundant. I mean,
Okay.
there were some methods in Greek theater where I'm like, where am I gonna use
Yeah.
this? And there's some methods like there's 7 what do they call it? It's a breathing method, but it's to help with emotional scenes where you need to produce tears.
Okay.
And sometimes the time frame you're given is not long enough for you to go to an emotional memory that will bring those tears. So they're called the rasas. So there's 7 of them.
Called
the rasas. It's like a rasas. So it's
Rasas.
yeah, it's like a very ancient Indian method
Okay.
of breathing and relaxation that will produce water from your eyes.
Okay.
And that's I would
I must
say
do that with my mother.
Hey, yeah. I also want to do that. That's why I'm like, huh? Shishas.
and that's so like it's different techniques and different tips they give you, like breathing tempo and speed and concentration and
Yeah.
meditation. So that I would say I've used the most out of anything I've learned in drama school, because I use that in auditions. Sometimes you're staying in an audition queue, you bump into Levi and you're chatting up a storm
Yeah.
and you're catching up and you forget that, oh flip, the scene I'm about to perform is actually very emotional and I can't get to that part, that thing that happened to me years ago that really hurt my feelings. And then other things, I mean, there's methods by Stella Adler for laughter.
Yeah.
Where laughter really has to be genuine. You can't just ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
It has
It's
to be
awkward
genuine.
also.
Yes. And you know that laughter is genuine when I'm laughing and you laugh back. And,
Yes.
And you don't even find the thing as funny as I do, but you're laughing because I'm laughing because it's contagious.
Yeah.
So you need to, there's certain things that she writes about in her books that help you get to that.
Okay, cool. So I mean, going on as a, what did you want to say something?
No.
Okay, so going on as an actor, I mean, you in one role, like you said, and you need to move on to another role. If we look at what's the Joker's name, the guy that couldn't get out of
Heath Ledger.
character, yeah. So I mean, is that a method of doing something wrong, or was he just so submerged into the character that he just couldn't escape it?
Look, it's very dangerous waters to tread in, but Heath Ledger was a very strong believer of method acting.
Yeah.
Which is an acting where you live the character. You become, so you're playing a drug addict. Your research goes into living with drug addicts, and maybe you take the drugs as well, or you experiment with the drugs. If you're playing a prostitute, you live in a homeless shelter with the prostitutes. You shadow them in the streets, and you do things like that. That's a very extreme level of research that some actors partake in, and I respect and admire actors who do that. But I also think, as sensitive as acting is, because they call it acting, but you're actually portraying your own reaction that you would have reacted in that particular situation. So had you been a drug addict, this is the kind of drug addict Lumko would have been, you know?
Yeah.
You're not actually playing Levi. You're playing who Lumko would have been if he was in Levi's situation at that particular time.
I see.
So in all due respect, I don't think you need to go to those extremes unless you're really struggling to connect.
Okay.
And once you get that connection, it should be technically enough for you to tap out of it.
Yeah.
You're going home now.
Exactly.
You're going to your children, to your wife, to your friends. You're having beers with your mates in Marvel. Why are you still caught up in that? I'm a deep thespian. I really think it's unnecessary.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
wow. So I want to move away from acting now. I want to talk about your your affiliation with the Feathers, because
Yes.
you're doing amazing work. Us who know, but the people don't know.
Thank you.
I think you started off as being behind the scenes. Your first one was behind the scenes. Hey,
Yes, it was.
this was in 2014.
It was in 2014. I wrote the script.
Yeah.
I co-wrote that script. And then the following year, I hosted the Pink Carpet,
Yes.
which is a very short segment at the awards.
Yeah, because yeah.
And sometimes it never makes it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I wrote that script as well. And I say this with great pride. There's nothing more beautiful than to perform something you've written. It almost feels like stand-up comedy because you know the jokes before the audience knows them.
Yeah.
So even when you can sense that they're dead or it's a sensitive area, you can still tell the joke, but you know how to mold it into a way that they'll receive it better.
Yeah.
So when you're a host or a presenter or an MC who's written the script, it's very easier to execute it.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think, and I put this out in the universe, that I hope that every big award show or every big production that I MC or I present, I want to be very involved in the script.
Yeah.
Because also it's very important to speak the way you would speak.
Yeah.
Script writers always write in a certain way, and you read the script, you're like, but I don't talk like this, or
Exactly.
I wouldn't say this.
Yeah.
I'd say lit instead of, oh, you guys are so drunk, you know. So there's
Yeah.
certain wording, you know, and sometimes you can change it, and sometimes you can't. So with the Feathers, because there was so much trust from the people who make the awards, and the sponsors, they saw the work I did in the first time I did the work, and the second and the third time, it's like, just take it to town. Like,
But see, now here's
have
my
fun.
question, because script writing is so tricky.
Yeah.
Do you not get nervous of the people attending the awards? Because you get big people like ministers are coming there,
Yeah.
and you now have to write a
Something
punchy
shady.
script with shade and blah blah blah. Don't you get a little nervous and scared?
The
because
nerves
of that?
only kicked in last year when I was the main host. Because before I could hide behind being just a scriptwriter.
Yeah.
No one knows who
No
wrote
one knows
this.
who-
yeah.
Someone else is saying it. This year, even if I wasn't the scriptwriter, I'm still saying those things, and I'm
The
standing
shade
on
guy.
stage. And now you're sitting there, you're hearing all this spice about yourself, and you're like, oh. But the truth is, the Feathers are created to, apart from all the activism and LGBTI messaging that's behind the actual awards, it's also a fun night to celebrate just pop culture.
Yeah.
You know, the script is always about what's happened this year. Let's just do a quick recap
Yeah.
in the next 90 minutes. And it's a recap based it's a very stereotypical ideology where you have a gay friend and they've always got the tea.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, Chomi, let me just break it down to
Yeah.
you. So Bonang did A, B, and C. So that's always the tone of the awards where it's a fun take on what's
Yeah.
happened in the year.
And people
But you
actually
can feel
loosen
it
up.
when you
Yeah,
watch it.
loosen
You
up.
so much
feel it.
fun. It's
and
so
we're
much
all
fun.
laughing at each other.
Yeah.
Really. We're all laughing.
Exactly.
Because the people you dissing or whatever are there.
And,
they're
and some of them
laughing
are winning
along.
awards.
Yeah.
So we're all laughing at each other. It's a big party.
That's great, man. So we're gonna go to a little bit of an ad break.
Yeah, bro.
I think we have how many minutes? Like 15 minutes left. And then when we come back, your idea of the industry, what you change about the industry, what you like about the industry, and everything else. This is Kofifi FM 97.2, where it all began.
It's Kupu. Yours ain't banging like mine, though. Yo, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Gigi Lamaine. And you're listening to
are you singing? Not trying.
No, I like the song. It's like
What
Kofi,
song?
babes. It's like
Ne-
Kofi. Understand? Not
I
black.
actually
is
wanna-
it
Black Motion.
Black Motion.
Black motion.
You know what the problem is with you, that I picked up? You allow us to flop.
Yeah,
Then when we realize we have flopped, and then you
and
fix
then he
us.
jumps on. Yeah.
Then he's like, no, it's black motion.
No, guys.
There's so many blacks,
He's
man.
like, it's black coffee, then you kept quiet. Then he's like, no, is it black? Then you're like, no, it's black motion. You're that person that
With a face, with a face.
exactly,
But
we'll
it's your
embarrass
house.
ourselves.
It's your house.
So you'll make us embarrass ourselves, and
in
then
your
you'll
house.
fix us.
I'm not gonna come correct you in your house.
I do.
You're allowed. You're allowed.
Anyway, the industry. What have you? Because we have like 8 minutes left.
Yeah.
What have you learned about the industry? What would you change about the industry?
I've learned in the industry that there's no shame in starting from the bottom.
Yeah.
And there's no shame in doing things for free when you're starting out.
Okay.
I think there's this idea that we have as young people that we want the quick fix. We want to be famous now, rich now, successful now.
Yes.
You don't want to start at the bottom. You don't want to be the intern or the runner, or you don't want to stand in the open audition queue. You want your own little slot, and you need to earn your stripes before you can wear them. So
Wow.
that's what I've learned, and that's something I constantly encourage people. People inbox me on Facebook or on Twitter, don't know how do I get in, and I always say, you hear about an open casting, go, because you don't know if are you that person or not, and you don't know what they'll remember you from. For example, a lot of the cast from Uzalo and Mubango, for example,
Yeah.
which is run by the king of the Lion King,
Yeah.
Dumagandlovu, a lot of them come from the Lion King. You walk into an audition, he already remembers you from either the audition for the Lion King or Lion King itself.
Yeah.
So don't downplay the audition, and don't downplay the bottom. And the truth is, when you're starting out, that's when you can do the most ratchet things, because your life changes so quickly. You suddenly can't go to certain spaces, or you
Yeah.
can't enjoy certain things
You
used
have
to
to
enjoy
polish your
before.
image.
You have to polish your image. You must
Yeah.
now sit a certain way or hang out in certain places, and it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of fun.
Okay, cool.
What I would change about the industry, there's a lot of negativity about the relationship between the art and the celebrity.
Okay.
And I feel like there can be a marriage between the two. You can cast someone based on the fact that they've got a following, if they've got talent to back it up. You know, and we shouldn't now be offended that certain lead roles go to people with 500,000 followers on Twitter because we feel like that person is not talented enough. You know, I think if we can work towards strengthening the relationship between the artist who becomes successful. You guys were speaking about Nomzamo Mbata randomly,
Yeah.
and I think she's managed to sort of, she's one of the very few people who've managed to create a gelling relationship between art and celebrity.
Yes.
Because when you say Nomzamo Mbata, what does she do? The first thing that hits your mind is
Acting.
She's an actress,
Exactly.
you know. So her craft has earned her celebrity.
Wow.
Yes.
As opposed to, what does so and so do? Oh, I don't know. He's a tweleb, or he's a. The moment you're known as a celebrity first, and then you must pick a craft. You must now pick.
Yo.
Then that's what I struggle with,
I
and
haven't
that's
thought
what I
of
would
that.
get rid of in the industry.
Yes.
I haven't thought
Totally
about
agree.
that. And there's so
Totally
many
agree.
people like that.
There's a
like
lot.
we were speaking about bookings. You know, where people are like, bookings, and you're like, we don't even know who
You
you
don't
are.
know
I
what
don't even
you
know who
do.
you
What
are,
are
what
we
you do.
booking
You
you
just have
for?
100,000 followers and for
100,000
bookings.
bookings at, we like, but
I kind of,
So if I
I
bring
would
you, what am I
understand the
booking you for?
inquiries at.
Yes.
Inquiries because
It's
you have a lot of
better.
followers,
But
I
if you're just
understand.
like a
But
blogger,
bookings,
what am I booking you
bookings or what?
for?
You want to MC my gig because you've got 100? Right, guys.
Not
no,
even
no,
an
stop
MC,
it.
not even giving it to us. You just
Yeah.
say book me.
Book, yeah, exactly. Actually,
So what are you doing?
actually.
Anyway, for people that want to get into the auditioning process, because I feel like that's the first step
Yeah.
to anything.
Yeah.
And that is the thing that can make you or break you.
Absolutely.
No matter how, because for me, it's like you see someone and they're brilliant,
Yeah.
but they never get roles. And you're like, what are you doing wrong? And sometimes I think it's like when you have to go for the audition.
Yeah.
So what are a few tips that you can give to people when they do go for auditions or for castings or whatever? A few things that they can do to keep in their back pockets
Yeah.
when they're there.
So for auditions, it works in two ways, right? To gain access to the audition space or to information about auditions, you either have to have an agent or you have to hang around people in those circles.
Yes.
Because that's the only way you will know that, oh, they're casting for Rhythm City,
Yes,
or
yes.
they're casting for this, because then the people in those circles will be discussing that.
Mm-hmm.
And once you've gotten that information, it's very important to prepare.
Okay.
So you know what so in your preparation, you would have to know where is this going to broadcast. So for example, certain broadcasters have got a certain tone and like station ID and CI and all those things. So you would know, for example, for an Mnet thing, your performance have to be predominantly English. For SABC 1, you have to speak some kind of vernacular and it has to be stronger than your English, or you must speak it a lot more than your English in your performance. So that kind of information is important. So where is this going to broadcast? Who's it for? And what are you actually auditioning for? And how big is the role? I don't believe, and I'm going to sound like I'm contradicting myself, I don't believe in small roles, because you can go in now for 2 scenes and then next thing they're like, actually we've written your character in and it's our principal character in the story. So go into the audition not as it's an audition, it's a job interview, I'm there to prove myself. If you are an actor or a singer or a performer of any sort in the true sense of the word, the audition space is still a performance space because you're there to perform.
So you take it as a job.
Take it as a job. See it as your booking. See it as a gig you're performing in. Go there, perform, and bounce. If they call you back, they call you back. Great. If they don't, you performed. And that's what you do for a living. You're a performer.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for coming into studio.
Oh, guys, thank you.
Last things, because we call it the package, ne?
Yeah,
To box it up. Everything that you've told us for the past 2 hours that you'd like to send off to any up-and-coming artist, not even if it's just acting or whatever, anybody that wants to get into the entertainment industry.
Don't be scared of the bottom. Don't be scared to do things for free. Don't be too arrogant to do things for free or to do things for little money, because especially if that's your entry. That's number 1. Number 2, the audition is not a job interview. It's not a space for you to go and prove yourself. It's a performance. So the same way you'd be proving yourself if you're performing for 1,000, like an audience of 1,000 people or a viewership of 1 million people, that one person or those 2 people behind that desk that you audition for, that's still an audience and you're there to perform. And then enjoy every single level of your life, particularly the beginning stages. There's very few people who have achieved great success and great wealth and fortune and fame who are deeply depressed and deeply lonely because they were so caught up in, I want to be rich, I want to be successful, I want that goal, that they forgot the in-between. And the in-between is fun. That's like the freebies you get at events, and it's the VIP access.
Yeah,
and
the small things.
The small things. And those are the things you should be enjoying now, because you'll get to a point in your life where you're so big and you're so successful and you're so prominent that you will miss those things because you won't have them anymore, and you'll be so caught up in what you currently have at that particular point.
Cool. Thank you so much. Friend,
Gracias for coming, man.
Thank you,
is
guys.
up.
Thank you for inviting me.
It was a good show, though.
It
I enjoyed
was.
the show.
Where can we get you? Where can we catch you?
On the Twitter. And on the Instagrams at Lumko Johnson. That's my handle on both Twitter and Instagram. And by mid 2017, you will catch me on your screen on a series called Quote Unquote.
Woo!
Yeah, but
Yes.
fire. People are working, man.
We also need to get working, man.
Yeah, my friend.
But you've been grinding.
Yeah, you know
I'm
me.
proud of you.
You
I'm
know
proud
me.
of you. You just need to push me this year.
And well
Things are
done, guys.
happening
This is a fun show, actually.
It is,
and
ne?
it's very clever.
Thank you.
Very clever.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You can catch me Twitter. Instagram. I don't tweet much anymore. Instagram, Levi Siboko and Walter Week
_S.
on Instagram.
Yes, don't forget, you are the light when you walk into darkness. Darkness must submit. I love you from the bottom of my heart to the depths of my soul. God bless. Bye-bye.